What's up, guys? This is Let's Talk Horror Movies here, bringing you guys a unboxing of Bambi the Reckoning. This just got in the mail today. This is from Umbrella Entertainment. It's a collector's edition. This is the fourth collector's edition for the Booniverse / Twisted Childhood universe, which is really cool. So here's some of the things you would be getting out of here is the a book, the custom illustrations, you get custom design rigid case, 16 art cards, a reversible poster, in the limited edition numbered release. This is number 324 out of 1500. So yeah, they're numbered. So there's only a certain amount of these. Now, from what I've seen online, it'll be easier to get, I think, Blood and Honey 2, Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmare, and Bambi the Reckoning. I'm not sure how fast this will go, especially now, but the Blood and Honey 1 you can't find anywhere, but I wanted to be able to open this up for you guys since I did the Neverland Nightmare, and that did pretty well for me, so I figured to unbox this one, and I'll be a little bit more able to open it a bit more with some of the things than I did with Neverland Nightmare. So but yeah, Bambi the Reckoning was really good. I really liked it. I went to the Q&A to see it in Burbank, and got to meet the director. I got to meet Vince Knight again. I saw Vince at the Peter Pan premiere, but it was really cool to get to talk to them again. But this was a really cool experience. So here's the Blu-ray cover, the back, special features. You get audio commentary with director Dan Allen and cinematographer Vince Knight. Bambi the Reckoning, Behind the Madness, the unset set of Bambi featurette, deleted scenes in a trailer, which is really cool. So this is the artwork. There's you could switch it to where you don't have to see the rating. And then this is the reversible poster right here, but that's one thing I'm not going to take out until like I'm ready to like if I want to frame it or whatnot. Bambi the Reckoning, the book. Again, really cool that they do this. And then you get art cards. Let's see. So you yeah, sorry, I've just been trying to get into this, but yeah, really cool. I think for the budget they had for Bambi, this was very risky. It was like a $400,000 budget, but they said it was even considered less because it was around the same budget as the last couple of films, close to that. But they had even less to work with because they had to use half of it on Bambi itself, and he looked really good. There are a couple of shots that, I think there's 2 shots in the movie where it kind of looks like they didn't have, like, they could do only so much to a certain point. And there were more, it was more of like inside the house kind of things and less than outside shots, so, but yeah, so you got some of from the movie, and then some of like from other illustrations, you know, from like the book. So that's really cool. And yeah, this is the back. So take that off. This little sticky thing off that. So this is the other part that they show. No sensible person looks at Bambi and goes, what if it were more like Cujo? What have they done to the cute little Bambi? Make it stop. So these are like comments that people make because they don't like the idea of doing these childhood, these public domain horror, which, look, considering how the universe started with Blood and Honey 1, which was a disaster in terms of reviews and stuff, but I looked at it as like there's no way realistically anyone was going to know this Blood and Honey 1 was going to make 5 point something million. And it spawned a franchise, and what I appreciate from Scott and Reese and everyone around this team is that they wanted to make these movies better, make sure to get a bigger budget to be able to make the films that they wanted to make as much as they can, and they've really shown that, and I really appreciate that. I think that's very important too with these public domain stuff, is that people show that they want to make something good out of them. I think they've really put the effort in. Whether a lot of people want to admit it to not, and look, people have appreciated the effort, and I'm glad people have noticed that they do have put the effort in. If they still don't like the film, that's okay, you know. But I do appreciate people at least acknowledging that they are putting the effort in. And it sucks though. The thing that sucks is that people are still going to condemn them because of the bad ones. I know people will say their first one was bad, but that was a 6-day shoot again, 20,000 pounds, $20,000, and you know and they were working with a more newer crew, like actors and stuff like that. But again, they made the best what they could with that. And I think for where it went, it's turning into a franchise that nobody would have thought. Which again is very impressive, and I really like that. You're able to turn these things, like, I think you should be able to, like, look, if you put the effort in, make something you feel like can be good. I think that's the biggest thing, is as long as you put the effort in, you're not being lazy, where a lot of these public domain things are. And that's why it was also cool to see Screamboat do well. Now, for me, the Fangoria Awards, I felt like Peter Pan should have won the Fangoria Chainsaw Award for Best Public Domain, because I go by story, character, and I just felt like they had a harder time. The Pooniverse guys, they had to go through a lot much more harder in dealing with a lot more stuff than what the people from doing Mean One and to Screamboat did, because they had the backing of Cineverse, like, I think Cineverse, no, or they had the backings of Mike Levy or Jason Lee, Mike Levy, and producers of Terrifier 2 and 3 on that production. Whereas, like, with the last few films, they weren't like, now with Pinocchio, we're getting Richard Brake and getting as, you know, and Robert Englund as Jiminy the Cricket and Richard Brake as Geppetto. And then for Blood and Honey 3, it's going to be written by the guy who did Color Out of Space with Nicolas Cage. Scott is going to direct that film. But again, I think they've had a hard time, and they're the ones that started the public domain again, and it wasn't supposed to go to theaters. I know I'm probably ranting on a little bit too much, but I want to say about Bambi the Reckoning, it's definitely the one that was the riskiest, and I think even Dan admitted that he was a bit scared because of what were they going to be able to do. They shot this in 15 days, which is about 2 weeks pretty much. And yeah, so it's you know, they shot in, I think, -3-degree weather. They shot most, I think, all at night, if not mostly. So yeah, it's, you know, and again, he said they had to cut some scenes, and so there's deleted scenes on here. So there's scenes that they had to cut to make it a bit more fast paced. So this could have, I think, could have been probably an hour and a half movie, but they cut probably 10 minutes, maybe, or maybe a few 5 to 10 minutes off. So it could have been a little longer, but they cut it down for fast pacedness. And this is the kind of movie you want, that fast pace for sure, because it's Bambi. Again, it's still I think a risky to make a Bambi film with a low budget, but I think they did a really good job. And then he's gonna be back for Pooniverse, but I don't know if a sequel's gonna happen for Bambi itself, just due to the, I mean, it wasn't released in a lot of theaters. It's the lowest grossing by far of the 4 films so far, but there's probably behind the scenes stuff with the distribution and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed that. This is Let's Talk Horror Movies, signing off. Peace.